Hi, and welcome back to Boston Food Diary Decanted. You know, since I've started doing tours with City Wine Tours here in Boston, I've gotten the same question over and over again, and I think it's a really interesting one, so I thought that we would talk about it here. And that is, where do the flavors in wine come from? We always talk about things like apple or lemon or peach or pear or strawberry or any number of fruits or things like cedar box or barnyard or forest floor, all sorts of different flavors that appear in wine. And very often people think that those are added in through chemicals or manipulation after the wine is created or the grapes are grown, That's not actually true. In good quality wines, and note that I'm not in any way saying expensive wines, but just in good quality wines, the flavors that you're getting, those great different berries and fruits and the depth of flavor that you're getting from that aging quality, that is not added in. That is from something that's known as terroir. And terroir is a French word that basically means everything that affects the grape around it and the growing of that grape. So everything from the aspect of the hill on which the grapes are grown, to the soil components, to the weather, to the climate, to the latitude, the longitude, the altitude, anything that can possibly go into how those grapes are grown will affect the flavors of it. And it's a really interesting thing to note that the same grape can present very different flavors based on where it's grown and the surroundings around it. If you look at the Burgundy Valley in France, that is the key place that I like to talk about in terms of terroir and what's affecting those grapes. They grow basically only two grapes. They grow the Chardonnay grape and they grow the Pinot Noir grape. And they don't even really discuss the fact that they're either one of those two grapes. It's either white Burgundy or red Burgundy. And you can really see the difference between how those grapes are affected by the difference in climate and weather and the soil components and everything just by tracing down the Burgundy Valley. We start up at the top at Chablis. And if you've ever had a Chablis wine, they're very stony, they're cold feeling, they're very, very minerally. And that's because they're from a very cool region. Their soil is full of a lot of Kimmeridgian clay, which affects that as well, and it's just a very cold space. And the wines, the Chardonnay especially, reflect that cool flavor to it. As you follow down the Burgundy Valley and you get more into the Macon and the southern sides of it, the Beaujolais, you end up with more of the peach flavor or the stone fruit characteristics. And then obviously if you take that Chardonnay grape, same DNA, and you bring it on over to very warm Napa or down into very warm locations in South Africa, something along those lines, you'll actually get very tropical fruit flavors. And that's all because of how the grape is baking in the sun and how much warmth it's getting and what flavors are able to concentrate within that grape skin. There are other things that kind of come through that as well in terms of acidity and how much or how little is in the wine. But the key piece here is that if you're looking for a wine that's very chilly feeling and very cool, you'll want to go with an appellation that is cooler, either in the northern or southern, depending on what you're looking at. So Washington State is a great place for those cooler climate wines. And as you get into southern New Zealand, that's another spot that has very cool climate wines. And then if you like those, the more warm feeling, the stone fruits, the tropical fruit, the banana, the pineapple, then you'll want to go with more of those warmer climates. So it's not that we are adding in flavors through chemicals, although some of the more mass-produced, not careful wines do end up adding in flavors to mimic some of the better made ones. But for the most part, if you're looking at smaller producers, not necessarily expensive wines again, but people who are taking care with their craft and see it as an art form, you will find a really great breadth of flavors just based on where those grapes are grown. And it's a fascinating thing to look at.